Ooh, 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 I like that. I like it when I come on and it already says one person's here. I don't know why these pictures look so bad in the background. What's up, people? Another Tuesday night. Hey, I got your thing. I got the card back. Thanks a lot, right to bear. Episode. Yeah, I got it. I went through it. It's nice to recover them. That it's kind of weird because they're kind of out of order, but I kind of went through most of them. And what's up, Wasabi? And well, yeah, there's enough there. That never is. Guns ain't never the problem. It's the people that use them that's the problem. We all know that. It's just the damn politicians that don't really get that damn thing in their head. If we didn't have guns, people would just, I don't know, blow darts, machetes, bombs. I mean, you can usually take care of more people with a bomb than you could with a gun. It's the people, just like you said, not the guns. So has anybody been fishing? Can anybody tell me about a good bite? Because that's true. That's true. Would have been millions of dollars worth of trivial trials and worth of trivial trials and him having to be in jail and yeah, he would have just went to jail for the rest of his life and we would have been paying for him. It's usually the way it goes. Hey, hey, 4040. I'm good morning saying, hit the like button, guys. What beautiful sunsets. This thing still seems bright. Eh, don't think it will it just doesn't capture these things well in the background. Oh, look, there's the bird. And the dried freaking shad I was feeding him. I don't know if they helped him or if they. I don't know what they did with those, but I just happened to have some in my car, so I was feeding him those like dead, dried shad you can get from like Walmart. After he ate a couple, he kind of like stopped. Done with rant. All right, good. see, see, I think I gave him to him and he stopped actually eating them. Yeah, see, look, he's there, and the last shad I fed him is right there on the ground. He wouldn't even eat it. Right there on the ground. He wouldn't even eat it. He's like, ugh, what is this shit you're feeding me? So nobody's been fishing? I was hoping somebody could tell me about a good bite. Since I haven't, last Monday was the last time I actually filmed a show. I mean, I went live Saturday, Sunday, but I do have 2 tips and tricks and 2 video blogs filmed. Yeah. No, he's in the back of the, he's at the end of the blogs. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna. I set the camera down and lured them in by like crinkling plastic, so they thought I was gonna feed them, and they came up and like looked at it. Yeah, it's really cool footage. So I like putting it at the end of the at the ending of the vlogs. Yeah, that was happening what, like last year or something like that. Since there's a million freaking squirrels there, for the most part. Just like there's a million freaking seagulls in that picture right there. You can't really see them, but millions and millions of freaking seagull there. That's me on my boat at Pinot. I think that was I think that's in the winter. That's usually when they hang out there. It's in the winter. I think I played this one last week. Maybe I need to put the women up. I need to put the support for female fishermen. I usually gets more people stopping in. Yeah, well, money is pretty much non-existent for me too. That's why I've been hanging out and doing more of the Bilesy Bites and the tips and tricks. Plus, I still have, well, I have that show that you recovered. Plus, I have still 3 old tournament diaries from the FLW that I need to edit. So I think I'm going to be spending a lot of that time. I'm not joking. Hey, well, you got to have more than one passion in life, right? Well, you have one to sell. That's like me trying to sell off my boat. Oh, look, Chris showed up. Yeah, I haven't got any response on my boat. Well, I got some response on the video, but everybody was not around here. But I put it on what, Facebook Marketplace, and I put it on Craigslist. Fort Fort Orf Tomato. What? Going fishing here in Fort Orf tomorrow. Tomorrow. I think he got the spelling wrong, but I think I know what he means. Yeah, well, luckily I I got to sell a lot of my baits when I was hanging at Pinot. So, hey, MacGyver, what's up? Hey, Chris, did you and your son catch anything on Saturday? I drove to a set point. Nice there. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's been really windy here. I'm sure freaking marina's blown out. Oh, I got 2 likes now. Yay. Yeah, did you hear me, Chris? I heard you were there on Saturday morning, weren't you, with your kid? With your boy? Just like my title? Boy! Uh, did you catch anything? Got, got a Prius in it. All right. Don't know what that is. All right, I'm tired of the. I need the women. I'm in the mood for the cheerleaders. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? There we go. There we go. That feels better. Not going my rates. Yeah, I figured. Wait, on our website now? Wait, what? Wait, I'm going to buy your baits on your website now. Oh yeah, no, it's down. I think. I'm kind of doing the in-person thing with the baits now. I do have PayPal. I mean, I can do it through PayPal. I've done it before through. Yeah, yeah. He said caught, so I, I haven't asked him what that means yet, but uh, what? Wait. You're getting rid of the truck and you're getting a Prius. I joked about getting a smart car and putting a hitch on it. I thought that'd be even more hilarious. Really? All right. Well, I don't care how the boat gets there, but I think a smart car would be even funnier. Of course, well, if you have the boat, you can put the rods in the boat because I don't think you can fit rods in a Prius in a smart car. But I thought it would be funny to get a smart car and put a hitch on it and use that to tow around a little boat. Maybe even like wrap the Prius or wrap the smart car in like CCB wrap. End up looking like a pizza delivery guy. Basically. Prius, smart car, kind of the same thing. Not the wrap though. Oh, come on. Be hilarious. Well, I don't know. You know, I mean, it'd be more hilarious for me because I have Seneca's bass. It'd be fun to wrap something like that. Gets to one point, I think I want to wrap my Jetta. I think that'd be good. Have the Jetta freaking decked out in the CCB stuff. So everyone will know when I'm at a lake. It'd be like 60 miles to the gallon hybrid. Nice. Beats my Jetta. I think my Jetta gets like 30. Oh, they never die right to bear. They're like 200-year batteries, man. Technology these days. Kind of like it's kind of like these batteries for my camera. They're going on like 8 years now, and they're still fine. The engine won't let the battery run out. Yeah, they're smart batteries now. Hey, right, Barry, you said your rant was over. Now you're switching it from that to batteries. We really need to get you. Well, they last better than uh, alkaline batteries. I'm sure they don't produce the acid and stuff when they sort of decay. You need to get a. You just need to get that guitar, and then you'll be all happy, and you'll calm down. Just get a Tesla. Way too much money, but then there's no gas at all. So you seriously got rid of the truck? Did it just not too much money? Bad gas mileage? No need for it? Hell, if you get your Prius to tow that little boat. Of course, I think you could actually probably get like a. Oh, I already have the car just here. You could just get a rickshaw and a horse and tow that boat. And you just let him go in people's yards. He would feed himself. You wouldn't have to use gas. That'd be great. Like going down the road with a horse in a rickshaw, towing the boat behind you. Kind of hard to get him. Well, you can teach horses to back up, I guess. That would be fun though. The old horse and wagon, towing the boat. I see people riding horses in Pinot or in Watsonville. Gas 15. Yeah, around town. Yeah, I always see those. The ones that sort of you hear them when they start up, they back up, it's quiet, and then when they start going, else then you hear the engine turn on. Yeah, yeah, I hear those all the time. They once they get over like 2 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour, whatever, the engine turns on and the electric goes off. It's like, how economical is that? Like, that's just like, I mean, you don't spend your whole day driving around a friggin' parking lot at 5 miles an hour, so it's gonna turn the engine on. Tesla's the way to go, though. I think my neighbor has one. What do you mean nowadays? Planned obsolescence has been around since 80s and 90s. They always try to produce things that only last less than they actually could. If they give you something that's going to last for 40 years, they're not going to sell anymore. It's just like these monitors. First came here, I got one of these monitors. It lasted like 2 years or something, 3 years, and just ended up dying on me. They want to either die to be completely non-fixable, or you can only fix them through them, and they cost a freaking arm and a leg to get it fixed. Any speed you go, it can run. Oh, so it can do 120 miles an hour and on the electric. Nice. I think that's Tesla's top speed. Yeah, I heard Prius are fast. I saw it in what was that movie? Horrible Bosses. He drag raced in his Prius. Of course, in the movie, he did say he hardly ever wins, but Jason Bateman's character drag raced in his Prius. That was the picture they caught of him flying from the scene. Yeah, no matter. I don't know. I think my Jetta gets good enough. It's like 30 on the highway, something like that. Better than the Pontiac. Really? No, I think I'm over that place, man. I'm kind of, I don't know. I keep hearing people telling me they catch them, and there might be pictures, but pretty much Laguna freaking sucks for bass. I mean, El Estero sucks for bass. I'm over it. I know it's close to home and right there, but I'd rather just go there and catch the carp. That place just has my number for bass. I'm not gonna spend the time there. I'd rather go to Pino or in the lakes over the hill. It just I don't know. I just can't catch them there. Yeah, well, of course, yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure there's a lot of bass on the restricted side. I don't know. There was a fish brain picture of somebody fishing with Joe. No, fishing with I forget who it was, but he showed me pictures of somebody that supposedly had two bass at Roberts Lake, and he was like holding up the picture. And he goes, "Yeah, no." And he checked the location, and one of them actually had a tag on it on its fin, and I'm like, I don't know. I've tried everything in that place. I think it's one of those people that just takes bass to somewhere else, takes a picture there, and then says, somebody just takes them from somewhere else, takes a picture of them, and says they caught them there. I've seen that a lot. Yeah, I showed him a picture, and it was at Roberts. It was on that little, like that launch ramp kind of thing in that, and he had it, and I'm like, what the hell? It has a tag on its fin. Like this, and I've fished that place a lot too, and I've never seen a bass in there. I've never actually talked to anybody that's legit that's got a bass in there. I mean, Laguna, I had pictures and I'd seen him in there. I mean, El Estero, I'd seen him in there personally, so I knew. But I've just never seen one. And all of a sudden, the guy goes, "Oh yeah, people are catching them good at Roberts." Yeah, wasabi. I don't know. I don't trust a lot of that fish brain stuff. I know a lot of people do it just to sort of make people think there's fish in a certain place. Because I said the picture I saw in the person, and I was like, no way, dude. I yeah. I'm just like, I flipped the whole Laguna Grande side, caught nothing but friggin' crawdads, and a bunch of it flooded one time, and a bunch of fish washed in that little canal, and I didn't see any. And then the saltwater came in, and they all died, but I didn't. I saw a hitch, I saw a bluegill, and I saw pretty sure it was a Sacramento hitch in there. But if you do go on Fishbrain Wasabi, you can probably go in there and you can see it. There is somebody that has. He's holding up two bass that he says he caught at Roberts Lake. And like I said, I don't believe it. Yeah. You're still ratting. That's it. That's it. How do I ban this right to bear guy? He's all negative tonight. He's just going off on everything under the sun. He's, he's, he's just bitter tonight. There's only two of us in here. It's like it's I don't know. I don't know if Wasabi's still here or not, but I don't know. I think it's only you, me, and Chris, or it's you, me, and Wasabi. It seems to be doesn't seem to be much of other people coming in at the moment. I don't know. They're probably all on the they're all on the grow channels. Oh yeah, see, it's just us three right now. it's it's me, Right to Bear, and Chris. Nobody else is coming in here. No Jay Jones. No. Great, great. So I'm your vent station, evidently. You're like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday night. I can come on and just freaking let all this out on Scott's live. My Hermit Life. That'd be a good live. That'd be a good video channel. My Hermit Life. It's, it's just always you like by yourself, being a hermit, complaining about everything that's going on in the world, sitting in a cabin in the woods. Long time. Yeah. Take a hit. Mellow out. Take a Chris. Man, where is everybody tonight? There's just like, well, last week there was like 8, 9 people right away. And I didn't even promote it. Last week I didn't even promote it. I just showed up. Remember right where you're like, I showed up at like 8:30. Remember last week I came out like 8:30 and like all kinds of people showed up right at once. I was like, this time I actually put a post and said, hey, remember Tuesday night hangouts that, and nobody shows up. So I said most of the smaller people, they just want to go to those freaking. Oh, they want to go to those grow channels so they can get subs. It's all about getting subs and getting monetized. Grow, grow, grow. and and that and it's funny, the thing you heard was actually Tree Trimmer 82 saying, "Bam, let's go, let's grow Tuesday night. Let's go, let's grow Tuesday night." Have you guys been on his channel? Probably not. You guys are my hangs. uh, Hello, Moto. No, that wasn't Hello Moto. That was I said it was a pop up from Tree Trimmer doing the bam bam. Let's go, let's grow live. I guess he just started right now. I don't know why he's on so late. Usually he's on early than this, but 30, 31 minutes. And we've had a whopping 4 people in here. Even with these visuals in the background. I don't know. I just smoke it. The ringtone. Yeah, they use a ringtone for the alerts too. Ooh, we have 5 people. Oh, we have 3 likes. Did somebody actually come in that knows us? I mean, if it's any sort of man popping in, I mean, why would they go away with all the beautiful women fishermen that I have on my channel? Just crazy. Actually, today I actually filmed a my rod and reel arsenal. I don't know. There's been people asking, and I don't think I've ever done it. I realized I have a lot more poles than I thought. I used to only bring the 3 with me when I fish, but I have like 15 rods. Where's the ice cream? You think he's in here? Has he said anything yet? It's just you two going back and forth. Are you assuming that Worm's one of the 5? I said I haven't seen any of the regulars yet. Well, other than Chris and Right to Bear and Wasabi was on. But usually I don't know, a lot of times we have like, I don't know, 10 or 12 of us in here. Doing the hang thing. Maybe we need to play a game tonight. Yep, 5. 5 watching, but only you only you 2 responding. I know Wasabi was in here earlier, but no Highland, no low budget, no Jay Jones, no corn farts, no Just Fish D. Who else is usually in here? Bass the North usually comes in. I don't know. Usually there's at least, sometimes 10 to 15 of us in here. Sometimes Grant shows up, sometimes other people. I mean, I'll spend 35 minutes now. Yeah, I said I went through them all. I said they're completely out of order. And yeah, some of them are missing. Some of the stuff is, but I said so it's enough to make a video out of it, considering if you wouldn't have done that, they informed me. No, I haven't found that one yet. I hope I don't accidentally mix that one into the show. Might give it more ratings, but that would have been funny. That would have been funny if you would have stuck like random videos on it. I did notice it picked up some other random stuff too. There was like stuff from the show with me and Jeff, and there was some other like random stuff that was still on there that had never gotten re-recorded over that was sitting somewhere on the disc. But no, it'll be. I said it's definitely enough to turn into a show. But yeah, definitely. I mean, what do you expect? I'm the idiot to freaking format the card before I did it. Let's here's the fork. Yeah, I mean, I said I'm the idiot that freaking formatted before I saved it. So you were able to give it some sort of life. And I noticed we do have two of your fish on it, and one of my fish is on it. I don't think I've actually gone through everything. I think the last fish I caught at that night and that didn't get recovered. Or the complete file didn't. It was partial. You hear me talking about it, saying the fish I caught was the same fish that bit the cast before, but I don't know if the footage showed up. I said I just kind of sampled through it. Yeah, because I didn't format the disk before I saved it to the hard drive. But it's always good. Lost episodes are always a great thing to put on YouTube. People always like it. Remember when John B? Well, you guys probably don't watch him, or whatever. But yeah, he went to Africa, and then evidently his hard drive broke, and that gained him so much leverage that everyone was like waiting and waiting, and then he sent it in, and they were able to save it. Phones are hard. Like I have such a hard time doing it with my thumb on the phone. Like I always hit the letters next to it and after it. It's a freaking bitch. I'm not a good texter. Yeah, so it will end up being a lost episode. It'll be the fish catching machine is back. Parentheses. Lost episode. That's my working title. But I think it'll work as a working title. Or as a title. Hopefully. Yeah, I saw that. And I think you say, I don't know. I think I was talking about doing a video about that. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to focus on that part. That'll be a key of the lost episode is what weight you are fishing. Oh, there's Just Fish D. Oh, look, suddenly we're up to 8, guys. I guess everybody had something to watch until 9 o'clock. Is what uh America's Got Talent over or something? Mm. Oh, Jess Fish. I was just gonna say that. Oh, barbecue. Oh, there we go. Wait, what? Jess Fish, D, and Dylan are barbecuing? Were you guys barbecuing together? I mean, how did two of you come on right now? Kind of like Eating with Chris. We have Eating with Chris, and now we'll have Physics by Right to Bear. Yeah, what did you guys see that? What's going on here? One person was cooking tri-tip, and the other person was at a barbecue. Were you guys together? Yep. I mean, yep. Dylan and Jess Fish G were cooking together. I know, but that's just weird. Like he shows up late, goes, I was at a barbecue, and you show go, I was cooking tri-tip. I'm like, were you guys together? Because that's just like kind of odd. It's like you were both chefing. Maybe I gotta do that one time, huh? Maybe I'll do a live at a barbecue. No, mine is. I'm gonna have to do that one time. I don't have barbecue here. Do I? I don't know if I. Well, I think my stepdad has one. I think he has a George Foreman grill. Not really the same, but yeah, maybe sometime because right outside my window on the other side is a little porch. It has a light and everything. So barbecue. We're still gonna barbecue on the boat. If you can get a little hibachi. Well, you just add to it. Yeah, but maybe I could do that sometime. I mean, it is summertime anyway. Here it's like outside right now. It's freaking freezing. There's fog. Yesterday it was. Last night it missed. It was all wet. But yeah, I have it. It's like right outside there. There's a light. There's an Adirondack chair. Yeah, I could do a Tuesday night hangout barbecue session. I could just sit out there and barbecue while I'm live and drink my beer and everything else. It's like good fun. That'd be fun. I know it's a. I don't know. I don't know if he has a regular grill. I don't think we have a regular grill here. Can you burn stuff on a George Foreman? I think it's electric, isn't it? I don't know. He bought it because he always wanted one. I think he's only used it once. Okay. We got to do a lot like a live CCB barbecue. How would that be? A meet and greet barbecue. You can make pancakes. No, we could do it at a. We could do it at Pinot, like off to the side one. But we could go live during it, so we could have like a live meet and greet barbecue. I think that'd be fun. Where Rick has been going. Rick has been going there and where what? We're barbecuing. What do you win? Like best burger build wins CCB base. Oh yeah, we still got to do the CCB U-Haul pub crawl on Cannery Row. We can't do it now because we're going to start out at the pier and then do the pub crawl. But now the pier's closed. Low-key dirty competition barbecue. Yeah, Yeah, barbecue competition. Yeah, I said the best burger build. We'd have to leave it up to if we're live. We would have to leave it up to who's watching the live to pick. So everybody would build their own burger and then horseshoe playoffs. There's not. Is there a horseshoe? There's not a horseshoe at Pinot, is there? They used to have one. What is this? Wait, what? What is this? The Guggen Squad YouTube channel now? Oh, you. Oh, Chris has a horseshoe kit. Nice. And maybe we could do like a. Somebody could bring one of those beanbag tosses. You know, the ones where you have little circles. Really, they do barbecue challenges? I haven't seen that. I don't watch them that much. But yeah, beanbag toss and oh, we could have the darts. Live goose catch and cook. Goose is really good. I was out with Jeff one time and he had a goose burrito. Goose meat's really good, but it's I don't know if we get away with it. It's off season. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to catch one, and I'm sure somebody knows how to pluck it and clean it and prep it. But I don't know. We might get in trouble for off season geese. No, no, we Stacy has September 1st. September 1st in Michigan. What? It's already September in Michigan? What now, right? What did you pull out your like pot scale right to bear and like lay a yum dinger on it? He's all into right to bear suddenly into weighing baits. Oh yeah. I said it's not easy to freaking grab one and kill it. Oh, geese season is September 1st. Okay, here it's not like a bait dealer. It's not here. I think you. Oh, and I had somebody come on and said you couldn't hunt geese in California, but you can. It's the same season as duck. That's the same thing I said. Because we were talking about one time, and some I don't know who it was, but they came out and said you can't hunt geese in California. But talk to my neighbor who's been hunting for like 40 years here, and he goes, "Yeah, you can. It's the same season as duck, and limits like two, I think." So I don't know who that was that came out here a while ago and said you can't hunt Canadian geese in California. Hunt you can hunt the Canadian geese and the snow geese in California, but I think it's the same. It's like October through I think it's October to February is when the fowl season is open. Yeah, like I said, I don't know who it was that came in here that said that, but I said I would ask my neighbor, and I said it to him. He said they don't even know the law. Jeweler scale. No, it's a pot scale. I mean, come on. Harbor Freight, cool. See, how would Chris know that you need a jeweler scale to weigh pot? I mean, you brought it up so far back in the thing, and now you're actually weighing them. You gotta remember they have a weight, but usually they're plastic in that, so it makes them buoyant. The lead weight is not buoyant at all in the water. The plastic is, but The lead weight is not buoyant at all. You can throw the plastic in the water. You can throw the plastic in the water, and it won't go to the bottom like a lead weight. So border jumpers. Yeah, I said I knew you'd get them here. I said, damn Canadians. There's more Canadian geese here than Canada. Why don't they call them American geese? I think they spend more time here in America than they spend in Canada. I mean, they're here from like, I don't know, like, really? I said here it's like 2 or 3. Yeah, I think they, I mean, well, they spend, they don't, I don't know, do they winter in Canada? I don't know. Because they're here all summer. They're here from like spring all the way till fall. So, like 9 months out of the year, they're here. Oh, yeah, they're there. There's like that many of them at freaking El Estero. There's that many of them at a lot of lakes they go to. It's funny because the more natural big lakes, there's only a few. But all the smaller lakes where there's people all the time that feed them, there's hundreds of them. 30 in Michigan? Yeah, I think it's only 3 here in California. I'm pretty sure he said 2 or 3 per day. Really? It's 30 in California? Well, is that per season or per day? It's probably per season. I don't know how they track it. Hey, Chex Max. Yeah, that's what I said. They show up here, same thing. Daily bag limit in California? Wow. I didn't know it was that many. Yeah, same thing. They show up here in March and they stay till friggin' December. So they spend January, February in their home country. Not much. Right now, we're talking about killing geese. We're talking about October. Yeah, that's what I said. It's October through January. Wow. Wait, Belly the Sun, how you doing? Yeah, they're good. Geese are. It's good. It's like a dark meat. Crap factory birds. um, yeah, I said I had one. Jeff that I fish with, who hunts and that actually he always brings food for me and things he makes. And he brought me this burrito and I was eating it and I thought it was steak in there or something. And he goes, "So what do you think of that goose?" Oh yeah. And I'm like, "What? This is goose?" He goes, "Yeah, it's a goose meat burrito." I'm like, "Damn, it's good." I'm all. I looked at it. It's dark looking, and I'm like, I thought it was steak, to be honest. But he said it was goose. Those goose is good. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it didn't taste like chicken. Geese pepper steaks. Oh, pepper steaks. Yeah, I said I looked at it. Yeah, yeah. I said I didn't know. He just like, oh, here I made you a breakfast burrito. I was like eating it, and like I said, he didn't tell me what it was. He just suddenly he goes, "How are them? How's that goose burrito?" And I'm all, "This is goose meat." He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay." 10 people, 4 likes. Come on. I know I don't ask, but I don't. know if it even helps, but yeah, I said I thought it was basically I thought it was steak. I thought it was just a steak breakfast burrito. There's Pinot Goose. I was fourth. Booty meat can be doughy. Oh wait, I missed. What did you say right away? I don't know. The meat's probably the same. I mean, it's the same goose. I don't think they're gonna have anything bad in them. They're eating human food. They're basically being stuffed because they're getting bread and a lot of grains, so stale cereal and all that stuff. So you don't even have to bread them because it's already mixed in with the meat, basically. Uh, oh, oh, just fish. Oh wait. Um, yeah, just fish D. I was going to tell you that I could. Well, I still have some I could make up for you. I think. Let me check. Because you were talking about you were saving that one jitter jig that I sold you for the Delta. But I actually have, yeah, the bladed jig. I actually have a PayPal account. I don't know if you have PayPal or not, but I used to sell stuff on eBay through my with my art net through that way. And I had some more done. Remember, I said I thought the one you bought was the last one I had. I actually found 10 more or 9 more that were production already made up, but I already sold them all. But oh yeah, look right here. Look right there. These are the way I have to get them now, and but these are two I still have that are production. You can't get these heads anymore. These ones with the open, the big toe, the same thing as well the one you bought. And this is the way I have to get them now. You see, it's 30 degree, and I have to put a split ring, then the blade. But I still have two in production, or two that, whoops, two that can become production. Ah. So, yeah, because people were asking about that since I killed my freaking website, but I still do have a PayPal, which can use to. I used to have my I had an eBay account, and I would have people that went basically outside of eBay to buy stuff from me, or I would it was my artwork, but I would sell them custom artwork, or they would ask me if I had any other in a certain theme, and since I only had like 200 things on it. Yeah, email me. I think do you have to I think you can pay to PayPal through PayPal even if you don't have PayPal. I'm not sure how that works because I know you can, or maybe you have to. I don't know. No, I didn't see it. Yeah, the bastard probably watched mine, and then he just copies everything I do, redoes it for his own profit. Hits from the bong. Yeah. That's Canicris for you. Yeah, but email me and where you go finesse jigs. I just don't like the fast emo that. Yeah. So I said I could make some up for you. I could make some up with. I mean, you could tell me skirts and that kind of thing. um, wait, he uses War Eagle. What was it? Where was I going? Yeah, but I said I. With me, the fact is I don't like because if it has a ball head and it has a lighter hook, anyway, it's like half ounce, 3/4 ounce. They call it a finesse jig, puff pass. And I'm like, no, I consider it a finesse jig because it's like less than 1/4 ounce. I mean, to me, even 1/4 ounce is really not a finesse. I mean, 3/16, eighth, 1/16, those are finesse jigs. No puff pass. No puff pass. Okay, I get it. Yeah, and all these women are real fishermen. None of this is staged. They're actually hardcore, everyday fishermen. I, I know, but how do you call that a finesse jig? It makes no sense. You okay? Well, it's trimmed in the front and it has less of skirt behind it. But 3/8 half ounce is not a freaking finesse jig. It's an effing jig. That used to be me. Yeah, Dylan. I don't. That's what I said. I don't get it. Even. I mean, her bong is chartreuse green. Yeah, I don't. That's why I didn't. I don't get it. It's because it has a ball head. Yeah, because it has half the skirt. I mean, you don't have the skirt going from the front and coming back over the back. If you trim it, and it only has, say, usually it's like 40 strands. Finesse jigs, it's usually half that, so it's only 20. Yeah, but I said that's what I said. That's a finesse jig is small weight, teeny weight, and these people are throwing, like you said, 3/8 and half ounce and just trimming the front skirts and saying that it's a finesse jig. It doesn't even his doesn't even has a stout freaking heavy ass hook just like the rest of them, not a lightweight finesse hook even on it. So that's why I said you people buy things to say that are finesse jigs just because it says finesse jig on the pattern. Safety brake. The hell's a safety brake in the back? Well, that's freaking nonsense. That makes no sense either. Oh, okay. Yeah, see that makes no sense to me either. It's a heavy finesse jig. Well, that- that's contradictory on its own right there. Because maybe maybe say you're using a smaller profile jig, because to add the word finesse to it is just nonsense. It's just that's what I hate about the fishing industry, and everybody just says this stuff that just blurs all the lines, and that's why people these days don't know how to f and fish. Yeah, because everything gets mixed up. People don't even know what a certain technique is anymore because all of a sudden the industry is calling it a technique that's not actually what the technique that's like with me with flipping. People are pitching and they say they're flipping. I'm like, you're not flipping, you're pitching. And they're like, or they're flipping and they say they're punching. I'm like, no, you're not punching, you're flipping. Or no, you're not flipping, you're pitching. And it's just because everybody everybody mixes up all the freaking techniques. A heavy finesse jig. Well, it's finesse because it's light. So how can you have a heavy finesse jig? It's 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 nonsense. Say you're using a heavy jig with a different head. Yeah, I said it's just. Oh, let me see what I have in here. I showed those, but I have others. I think I have more. Might have more in here. As far as jigs, jigs I can show you guys. Oh, here we go. Oh, I got a lot in here. And a sandwich. Of course. What would anything be without food with Chris? See, guys, I have a lot of different stuff in here. As far as I have some of these heads. It's the ones that have the hook for a Texas rig, but it's actually on it. I have some of these that are actually these are actually like flipping jig heads, but they're kind of like a swim head jig. Oh, I have some of these. They're like a shaky head. The hell? Ah! That's not a swim jig head. That's actually a flipping head. Ah. Yeah, that's not. It looks like it, but it's not. It's actually a Millets foil flipping jig head. Sorry. I lost all my little. Yeah, that's what I said. There's a lot of people would think. A lot of people would think that was a swim head jig, but it's not. Look at the angle of the hook. This is actually a swim jig head. But they're two totally different things. I don't know if I can pull these out. I mean, I'm sure I can. But yeah, no, look at the angle of that thing. And look at that hook. It's the same sort of head. Wow. Look at that, guys. I have these and I never even opened them. This is actually a swim jig head. This is designed for swim. And this is designed for like swimming, punching grass and stuff. I mean, see the angle? How this is like straight and this is much more pitched. Yeah. But you can see the angle. I mean, see how this hook comes straight right here? And look how this comes off it. Whoops. Look how this comes off it. The big bend there compared to that. That's just completely straight off it. Anyway, the heads are similar. Very similar. But yeah, it's the direction of the hook and the way the hook comes off it that makes one better for one technique than the other. I said it's a lot of that subtle difference and everything else. What's the bend do? I've never, well, when it sits up, the angle of it when it's hitting, especially when you're pushing it through grass and everything, the hook is better. When you have the straight one, you want it more in line with the trail and everything, and you're swimming it, so the hook is straight. Yeah, I said this is a millifoil jig. Yeah, that's what I said. It's a slight difference, but this is punching through and usually probably sitting. Well, it's meant to sit flat, but you see when it sits flat, the back end is up, and when they hit it, the hook's set back. Compared to this one, with the jig like that, but everything's straight in line. It doesn't have that that good angle to it, and you can see the. Well, this one's actually weird. This one has the trailer thing up, and this one has it down. But yeah, it's a big difference. This is meant to be like just swum through grass or just out in the open, and this one's meant to be punched down and through. When it sits more up. And when the way you work it like that compared to this swimming through like that, yeah, and these are pretty stout. What size is this? Anyway, doesn't tell me. It's a 3/8 ounce head, but that's like a 5/0 hook on that thing, and this is a mustad hook, and it's pretty damn stout. I don't think you're gonna. I mean, this one's almost the same too, and this is another mustad. But I actually never produced any jigs on this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said they're all designed for a specific purpose and the way the fish hits it and the way it's being swum when they hit it and everything else. But I don't know. I think if one pops this with the way that hook is designed and bent down and that, you're not going to miss very many if they pop this thing off the bottom. Plus, usually when you're swimming it, your line's out, so your reel's down. And when you're punching or flipping something like this, you're straightening almost. It's almost a vertical line. I mean, the line's up like this, and the swim jig usually have the line more horizontal and parallel. So when they grab it, it's parallel. Yeah, but it's just a matter of this thing's gonna be down, and when you're setting the hook, it's gonna be coming straight up. And just the way that's designed and that, the way it would lock right in that freaking. But yeah, that's kind of the whole difference and stuff. But that's kind of the same thing, but not really the same thing as this whole stupid heavy finesse jig bullshit that's going on. Yeah, even football heads are usually the hook is straight and flat behind it. It's not angled up behind it like our flipping jigs, our quarter ounce flipping jig. Anyway, I like to work them over rock and brush and everything. The jig head sits and the hook is sort of up. A football head, it's more like the swim jig. It's the football head and the hook is straight out the back. Because most people just crawl them on the bottom. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, for me, the bite and everything's the same. I just don't crawl them. I've never learned how to crawl them. Even football jigs, I usually work them. But so I have all kinds of stuff all over the place, guys. Every nook and cranny around here, I pulled out stuff. It's just, there's all kinds of, it's all bait building stuff everywhere. There's a whole thing of really cool, the mustache trebles. Oops. I'm just trying to see if I have any more jig heads in there. Well, I have a whole bunch of horse head underspins not produced. And I don't have any more jig heads in there. They're all somewhere else. I think they're in the closet, but yeah, all that. I said all that different stuff matters as far as when you're jig fishing. And oh, what happened here? Like I said, when you get, he called it, what Mikey Pauls called it, heavy finesse fishing, which is, I don't know, basically you fish anything that way, just trim it. But that's what confuses people. They're like, ooh, that's what a finesse jig is. I know that's the other thing I said. It's the fact that they call it that on the packaging. So, but it's, well, look. I have random things everywhere. Well, that's what I said. I say I'm going out and finesse jigging, and then somebody goes and buys something because it says finesse jig. And someone might not say heavy finesse jig, but they say finesse jig, and they're like half ounce or whatever. Yes, and that's what I don't like about it. That's what drives me freaking nuts, because they call it stuff that it's not. And I said, now you got me ranting, right, to Bear? If you're still here. Oh, that's right, he went away. Yeah, it just drives me nuts, because I mean, that's why I did that thing about everything matters on that video, because the difference between what I call a finesse jig and that quarter ounce, I mean, even if I cut it, it would still be that much bigger. Recall it. Yeah, well, that's another thing too. I gotta do a video on that, because everybody thinks a Ned rig is not. They don't know what a real Ned rig is. No, but no, Ned rig now has a Ned finesse jig. That's one that Wayne uses, but most people don't really know what a Ned rig is. They see a mushroom style head, which is actually a bullet head, and they're like fishing that, saying it's a Ned rig. Realistic Fishing did this, and I got on him about it in his videos, because he said he was going to try the Ned rig, and he was using, it was like a bullet head. It wasn't a Ned head. Yeah, but here's Realistic Fishing saying that he's going to try this Ned rig thing, and he shows his head, and his head is not a Ned head. It's a shroom head, but it's got the weight coming down the shank, and I don't know. He's teaching new people and naming a technique that he's saying is a technique that's absolutely not the technique, and it looks different and runs different. And I saw a couple of his shows where he said, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try to catch him on a Ned rig. And he shows his head, and I'm all, that's a shroom head. Or that's a bullet head. That is not a Ned rig. Well, no, there's ones that are shroom heads. Well, don't I still have it here? Yeah, I have it right here. See, that's a shroom head. That's a shroom head, but that is not a Ned head. I mean, it's not. Because, see, it has a lead on the shank. And with a Zeman, yeah, that's actually a shroom head. I don't know. I wish I had some here. But no, the other thing too with the Ned is see where this eye is. Yeah. Not only no lead on the shank, but the eye is usually the eye will be in the front and the lead will be behind it. So when you pull it, it stands up. When you have this lead behind it and you have it the other way around like this, when you pull on it, it'll have a tendency to come flat, not tilt forward. Yeah, it's more in the front, and the lead is behind it, and there's no weight on the shank because the way this is with the lead here and more of the lead in front, it'll have a tendency to lift but come more flat when you just have that and the way they're designed without it on there. When you go to pull on them, they have a totally different look and they kind of stand up more. I mean, they don't run the same way these run. And that's my issue with it was like, oh, well, it's the same thing. I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, it's, I don't know, if you look in the water and look at the way it moves and the way that it actually glides, if you have the right bait and all that, it'll look totally different than something like this that's rigged. Then it has, and I don't even know why that thing's like weirdly bent, but it's just totally different. And this is probably, and a lot of times this makes it heavier with that. And the way this sticks way up, I mean, it's for my video. Everything matters. All that little teeny stuff there matters. That's what people don't understand. Like when I was out fishing. Yeah, spot remover. Yeah, well, those are shaky heads. They're more really upturned and flat here. So when it stands, the worm stands straight up. You just kind of nudge it really slowly along the bottom and it stands like that. But yeah, the Ned looks totally different in the way that it stands and kind of sits and kind of looks like a little minnow eating something off the bottom. I used to flip grubs all the time. Grubs are really good for flipping. Lightweight grubs, flipping in toolies and stuff. 4-inch kalins, 5-inch kalins. Yeah, it will kind of. Yeah, I said it's the fact that it doesn't have any lead on the shank. All the lead is in the head, and the fact of where the eye is positioned as where the lead is. It's more towards the front of the lead. It's not in the middle of the lead or at the back of the lead like this. The eye is usually right here in the front. See, this one more the lead's in front of the eye. So I said it all makes a freaking difference. And like I said, I get people and I'll be fishing the Ned and catching them, and they're like, oh, I have something like that, and I'll pull it out and I'll look at it, and I'll, this is the same thing, right? And I'm all no. And they'll look at mine, and they'll look at theirs, and go, what do you mean? This is the same exact thing. I'm all right, whatever. Go ahead and throw it. It's not gonna look the same in the water. It's not gonna have the same movement and everything else. But it's all that subtle nuance and that subtle little difference. Just like the finesse jig. I mean, I can actually get my same heads that I use for my finesse jigs. I do them in a 1/8 and a 3/16. I could get them in Exactly. I could get those heads that I have that I use my ball head finesse with the light wire and all that. I can get them half ounce. I can get them quarter ounce. I can get them half ounce. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I'm like, I'm not going to produce them that big because to me, and when I'm teaching people finesse jigs, that's not a finesse jig. If I'm going to go that weight, I'd rather go to a different head and a different style. So I don't even produce them bigger than that because I want to be 3/16 to 1/8 and lighter to be considered a finesse jig. Oh yeah, you can get half. Yeah, I said I can get half ounce, 3 ounce. I can get the same ones I have light wire. I can get the same one in a heavy stout wire. But if I'm gonna do that, I would rather go to a football jig or our flipping jig. I have, I have no desire to up the weight in my finesse jigs when I have another jig that'll work better. Yeah, you can get them that way. Most of my football heads that I produce are actually light wire. But I said I'd rather use that if I go to that weight rather than a finesse jig because it's just the profile of it and everything else works better when it's got a really light weight than when you suddenly go 3/8 or half ounce with it. It's better. You'll probably catch more and have better action using a football head or our flipping jig. So why force a finesse jig to do what another jig will do better when you get to that sort of weight? I said you can take a football jig and I don't even know so, but they might make some that are 3/16, probably in that. But I think the action on the football head or the bullet head or the ball head or the football head is better at that lightweight than trying to take a football head down to that weight to mimic a finesse jig. I mean, that's why I have the flipping jig, I have the football jig, and I have the finesse jig because they all serve different purposes at their weights and what they're designed to do. So they all come in different weights. So because I think like a football jig, I have a 3/8 and half ounce football. I have a quarter ounce flipping and I'll probably have a 3/8 ounce flipping. But I have no desire to produce a quarter ounce football because the 3/8 and half work better with the football head than when you get to a lighter football. It's just, oh, so it's all a matter of making something that works the best for what it's designed for me when I make baits. But yeah, heavy finesse, yeah, I mean, I don't know, you could do the same thing with something else. Just don't confuse people. Keep finesse jigs at 3/16 and less. Don't suddenly start having heavy finesse jigs. It's basically just a jig with half the skirts cut off. Yeah, see, right to bear. Now I'm ranting, but I'm ranting about fishing, not Priuses and guns. Is what your rant was earlier. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to like load all that stuff up one time. I'll have to do one of these Tuesday night hangouts and have all this stuff like laid out, or do some tips and tricks of that and show you all the different styles and techniques or styles of jig heads I have and why I chose them for each one of the jigs that I produce. Yeah. Thanks, guys. That's another tips and tricks idea. These are cool little freaking whittle blades. That's what I put on the bottom of the the underspins. Yeah, I mean it would be the same thing as a football head. Yeah, well, actually, football head jigs are meant to be just crawled, almost. I mean, almost reeled in. All righty, wimp. Yeah, yeah. But I said football heads aren't even. They're not meant to be hopped and all that. They're meant to be just slowly reeled on the bottom. Yeah, football heads, and I never. That's why I don't usually fish them much because I ended up just hopping them like a normal jigging net. But the best way to work them is just to slowly just crawl them on the bottom, just roll them. That's what the football head does. Is it causes it to just kind of rock back and forth on the bottom. Yeah, night, Chris. Yeah, it kind of causes it to kind of roll and do that when you just slowly roll it, and they're not meant to be like hopped off the bottom of that. So that's why I don't fish so much because I go to the flipping jig because it's more designed for me to hop it and pop it. It looks better like that than that. Yeah, usually. Yeah, the football head. That's what I always thought. I don't know. I always thought they hopped them and everything, but that's like, was it Denny Brower? Is he the big one on the football head? And even uh, the Biffle Bug, Tommy Biffle, on that. The Biffle Bug is a football head that's jointed. Yeah, but it's like the Biffle Bug, the football head is meant. He just slowly reels it on the bottom because the head, the way it's designed with that football, is it wiggles and then that little Biffle Bug just kind of wiggles behind it. It's not meant to be hopped on the bottom, and that's why I use our finesse jig more than I use football jigs, just because the big toe head and the way it stands, and the way the 30-degree eye and then it comes up and over stuff, and when it lands, it more stands up. Football heads stay flat because the hook comes out of them just like swim jigs straight out the back. It's not tilted up. They're meant to be just slowly crawled on the bottom. Well, ball heads usually, I don't know, does it have a 90-degree or a 30-degree eye or a 45-degree? Usually the ball heads will be in, usually they're like 90 or they're 45. They're not like right in the front. But if they're coming straight up in that, they're meant to be hopped. Yeah, it's just a straight. Yeah. Well, that's because when you pull on it, it pulls it up more because the way the line is and the resistance of the water, it'll pull itself up more. Hey, Jay Jones showed up. Yeah, football head, you'll notice most of them, they'll have the inset and it'll be kind of more like on the right on the front of it. So when you crawl it, it just, yeah, that's like our bullet head. Our finesse one has a 30-degree. It's actually the eye isn't straight, it's flipped, but it's at like a 45. And our bullet head finesse is 90-degree. And so it'll pull up off the bottom easier when you go to hop it. Yeah, the football head, a lot of them are inset in it compared to, like you said, the ball head is usually it's 90. Yeah, the football, it's usually a lot of them now are inset in it, or it's kind of 30-degree kind of in the front. But yeah, I said they're meant to just be slowly reeled along the bottom. No real or drug real slowly like Carolina rig. Not meant to be hopped by the way the design of that is. That's why I don't like fishing football heads because I hate doing that. I just hop them like a normal thing, but it just doesn't give them. And my flipping jig with the big toe head and that gives it much more action when I hop it than the football. No, you're supposed to. I just hate doing that. I don't know. I hate crawling jigs like that. It's so like I'd rather be like I do with the flicking and the drop shot and the Ned, giving it some. action. But yeah, the football, you're supposed to just like slowly roll on the bottom, let it like over pea gravel, and then that. It's not really meant for heavy rocks, like a really rocky, bumpy ledge. Football jigs are usually meant for pea gravel or like on sandy, harder bottoms, and they're not really meant to be used on like heavy, chunky, really crevicey everything rock ledges and that. Other jigs are made better for that. Football jigs are for pea gravel and, like I said, sand, and that just crawled on the bottom, and they just kind of sit there and move kind of back and forth like that, the way the head is designed. Yeah, the finesse jigs are meant for that, for the heavier rock. Plus, like mine, my flipping jigs, the big toe football head comes up and over that stuff better. Or sometimes, I mean, some of them are more the pointy, almost like a swim jig, like the milfoil one. But yeah, finesse jigs originally, I think, are meant because people usually use them for smallies and that around rocks. Egg sinkers. Yeah, egg sinkers. Yeah, egg sinkers are pretty much. I mean, you put them in line instead of sideways, but yeah, same head as a football head. I should get them. I mean, I have some in here. I think I have. Let me check. I know I have our. I don't have any here. I know I have some like flipping heads in here still. Here I go, digging in my closet again. Yeah, there we go. I found one. I knew I had it in here. I have football heads, but they're somewhere else. All right, these are the. See, these are our flipping jig heads. See the head? It's like the big toe head. Yeah, the egg thing. Yeah, I kind of got that you were sort of meaning that. But yeah, see, these are a little flipping. So it's got the big toe head. It's got the turned eye. It's a like a 45 degree, but these actually sort of sit like this. And then when you work them, they kind of work over things, and then they sit like this. And then when you have your crawdad trailer, now it kind of sits up. But these are really good for working over rock and brush and lay down logs and everything. I mean, it just has a better surface, the way the tie is. I mean, a football head, the way it's designed in the front, it would more dig in and stuff. This is meant to more come up and over stuff, but and that's really good. I mean, I don't like flipping jigs. I rather flip something that's Texas, completely weedless, because um, this stuff's really good for when you're coming over stuff like that. But if you're flipping reeds and trees and that, if it comes from the side, it it often doesn't protect it as much. Like, see, it just stuck in me. I mean, I can bring myself over this pretty good, but if I come down the side, it it'll catch me almost every time. And that's what you get when you go into the reeds, and then all of a sudden you pull it up, and a reed will kind of hit it from the side, and then you have to strip it and like pull it up and strip the reed thing. So yeah, these are better for coming over laydowns and rocks to keep it from catching that way. But and when you're flipping vertical reeds and toolies, and that's why I don't like them, especially at pinout, because I would always still get it. We'd come up the side and we'd catch it, and I'm like, oh, dude, I have to strip it out. when I can throw a freaking Texas rig bobblehead in there all day long and not get snagged on anything. So yeah, that's kind of where the two different concepts of all that come from. Don't reinvent the wheel. Use the wheel the way it was meant to be made. Don't reinvent the wheel. Use the wheel the way it's meant to. Yeah, I guess. I mean, kind of, sort of. Yeah, but I said I've seen it. I see John B do that all the time. He'll pull out what he calls a finesse jig, and I mean, it'll have it like the way I cut mine, where it's just a little bit in the front and not much of a skirt. But he'll have a big, huge bandito bug or something big on it, and it's like 3/4 ounce or a half ounce, and he's like, "I'll be throwing this finesse jig." I'm like, "That's not a finesse jig. The only reason it's finesse is because it has less skirt in the back, but you're still putting a huge ass freaking trailer on it, just like you would on any other jig. So why is it a finesse jig? Just because it has a little barb sticking out behind the front of the weight? Is that what makes it a finesse jig? It needs to be finesse because it's lightweight. But yeah, finesse jigs are better around rocking that because originally most people use them for spots. I mean, for smallies. Finesse jigs originally were a huge smallie bait, and they usually hang around the rocks and spots. So the ball head is good for coming through the rocks and everything, and the way the eye is lifting it up and over it and that. So yeah, you're welcome, Squid. I went off on a tangent about it, but hopefully you learned something. Every day is a school day. Yeah, I said it's just 40 years of doing this, and I don't know, just hours and hours and days on the water, and just D. Thomas. I mean, just a lot of the people that originate a lot of these techniques. And then suddenly, as it goes on, it just sort of gets lost. And suddenly, this technique's not that technique. And people are calling it technique's not that technique. And people are calling it technique that's not a technique it's not that technique. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was there through. I was there when flipping first started. I was there like back in the day with split shotting, which I don't know, a lot of people don't even do anymore. They don't even know what split shotting is. Um, there was a thing called the spot remover, or not spot remover, but the slide rig, which was, I don't know, it was basically this little, like, it was a slider head. It was kind of like a, and the guy would use it and just barely just inch it across the bottom, but it would stay a little flat. And he'd use this little, like, inch it across the bottom, but it would stay a little flat. And he'd use this little, like, pointed little 3-inch worm, almost kind of like the Ned rig, but instead of it standing up, it was meant to stay and just kind of glide and slide on the bottom, which I haven't seen or heard of since. But the split shot rig kind of actually came back around in 2009, 2010. People were starting to use the split shot rig again, which is, I don't know if you guys even know what a split shot rig is. I don't know if it's back around or not, but it's basically a Carolina rig with a really, pretty much like a 4-inch or 6-inch robo worm with a little like 1 or 2-aught hook in it. And then about a foot and a half up from it, you put a little split shot, like one of the littlest, really lightweight split shots, basically like a finesse Carolina rig. And you just throw it out, let it sink, and you just kind of like pull it on the bottom or let it come up and over like weeds and stuff like that. And It was like a huge finesse thing back in like the early 80s and stuff with split shotting. And a lot of times they would use it over suspended fish. They'd throw it down and sink it down, kind of like people do with a drop shot, where they put it down there and just hold it suspended in the mid column and bounce it. Well, they would throw it out and kind of count it down and then just sort of slowly kind of drag it in the middle of the water column with that little split shot and that little worm kind of gliding behind it. But some of my the guy I was trying to teach stuff or show spots in San Antonio, that was a tournament guy, and I went down there to fish with him, and he was using a split shot rig. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen anybody use that in like 25 years. He goes, oh no, dude, yeah, it's an old, but it's making a comeback. The split shot rig. Yeah, jig fishing is pretty much. I work it the same as I work at Texas rig worm and everything. It's just a matter of the right size weight and the right size head. They hit it the same. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't know how to hit a jig. Well, it's usually you feel a thump. I don't know. I haven't been there since Sunday. I did those 2 lives and sucked. But I did see Better Odds Fishing did another one with the split shot in 4 hours, and he caught, how many caught? Like 20? Like that. No, I don't know. I think they actually drop the jig more compared to plastics. They will drop a jig a lot more than a plastic. A lot of times they'll hit it and you'll hold it and they're like, ah, oh, damn it. And you start working again and they might pick it up again and you're like, seeing it and they're like, nope. And then suddenly, doop, and you'll feel them swim away with it and you're like, there we go. Yeah, I find they grab and spit a jig more than they will plastics, like a Texas rig or a split shot or flicking. But it will definitely drop a jig quicker. And sometimes it might take a couple times before they'll actually take it and swim off with it. At least that's my knowledge of them. I don't know why. Might be because you got like this tough stuff plus the hook plus I don't know. Sometimes it just takes them a while to commit to it. Where plastics and that, it's usually they'll if they want it the first time they hit it, they'll swim off with it. They won't keep playing with it for a while. They play with jigs a lot more. That's why I don't set the hook till I feel them swim off. I don't just slam the hook the second I feel it bite because half the time they're so quick at taking in, taking it out. They're just like, and by the time you set the hook, they're already spitting it. Yeah, I cut mine too. I cut mine so it's in front of the hook so it doesn't touch it. But yeah, no, they will have a tendency to pick that up and spit it more than they will a plastic. Unless I mean if they're really acting really committed, yeah, those freaking they'll pull your whole rod down. They'll just hit it and take off with it. But recently in the summer and that, I've had a lot of them. You can see a lot of my video too. They'll hit it and spit it, and then they'll hit it again and take it. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna cut it all the way off, you might as well just buy a non-weedless. It's cheaper to buy a non-weedless than it is to buy one that's weedless and cut it completely off. I just cut it down so it doesn't stick up, so that plastic doesn't hit the tip. Because sometimes that plastic can actually stick in the tip when you're setting the hook and you lose fish because It got a plastic like that stuck on the hook. And these things are worthless. I mean, I guess they kind of help maybe, but these little wire ones, better off clipping those off because the odds of them helping you in any situation, I don't. It's just a reason to charge more for it because it's got that one little piece of freaking wire sticking out. Oh, it's weedless. We gotta charge it more because it's weedless. It's got that one little piece of wire, which does jack crap. But I said halftime, it's about the money. If it's weedless, you gotta pay more. Yeah, but I said these are little. You can see that's a pretty damn stout hook. Yeah, these. That's why I use this thing. This thing's great for coming over rocks. This little flipping jig with that head. It's a dream for coming over big chunky rocks or big like 100-pound rocks and that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, it's just and the way that it kind of stands up and the way that it kind of I don't know. So if you throw a football head in a lot of that stuff, you're gonna get locked up. It's gonna fall in a crack, and the way that the head's designed, it just locks. This is just more. Um, it'll work itself kind of out of it, and especially the way that the 30-degree eye and that it's not. But I've never produced those for sale. I've I bought tons of heads. That's why I knew the heads were in there, and I make them for myself, and I love fishing myself. But I actually never actually produced our flipping jig for sale. But yeah, and you can see how compact it is too. I mean, this is a quarter ounce. I can get them, half ounce, 3/8, and even then, even with a little bit bigger hook, they're very compact. But you can put a full size skirt on them. You can put that big, crotch trailer that sticks all the way out here. So you have a lot of bulk and a very compact head size, which I think is better. Most fish eat things that are 3 to 4 inch. No, I don't have. I don't. I can't get these with a lighter hook. This is the only hook they come with. Is the big stouter hook because they're. I use them out in the open and over rocks and logs, but where I get them from, they're considered a flipping jig. So heavy cover. If you're going to heavy cover and that stuff, you gotta have like you can't have a light wire hook. Come on, it's the industry. You gotta have something. So I use it for not its purpose. They don't want you. They expect you to be flipping these in the heavy cover flipping, but I think they're better working rock ledges and over logs and stick ups and things on the bottom. And I never flip them. They just work a lot better over that sort of stuff. So that's. But it's a freaking Mustad ultra point hook, and I don't think it matters that it's not a light wire hook because you're still gonna get stuck with it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm using it. I use it. I still call it our flipping jig, but every time I promote these and every time I fish them, I'm not flipping. I'm throwing them over big chunky rock or big tangles of wood and logs and bringing them over stuff on the bottom. But I don't know. I guess what else could I call them? Structure jig, maybe. But I don't know. I'm just when I do produce them for sale, they're still gonna be called our flipping jig. But because if you love flipping jigs, those things are amazing for flipping in stuff. but they're also amazing for rock ledges, chunky rock, and trees and everything else. Yeah, I said I have a few left. Uh, yeah. Reality is on those when I'm fishing them, I should probably actually use 14. Um, yeah, but it's just because I need the 12 for all most of the other techniques. But yeah, in reality, with these sort of things and football, well, not football because that's kind of out usually over just like sand and gravel. But yeah, for actually throwing these around, bigger, bumpier rocks and rock ledges and through brush and lay down timber and stuff. 14. I 12 will handle it. Yeah, I only use mono. Another reason I like mono on these and all that is because it will allow it to lift better and come off the bottom because mono floats. Fluoro doesn't near the sprayed. Uh, and it has, I don't know how I get into this. I'm going to do tips and tricks, I think, on the reason I only use mono. And I have some biology bites on the reasons of why I only use mono. And yeah, but no, with this, I mean, realistically, yes. Uh, sort of. It, it helps it look more neutrally buoyant or more, yeah, neutrally buoyant. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be doing a tips and tricks on this. Uh, no, a lot of times the extra give is more of a detriment than a positive. But I have a tendency to set the hook really hard, so um, or I'm not yeah really hard, but I do a really quick whippy like hook set, and I don't know if I started using things that stuff that didn't have stretch. I think I might break off more than I do. I think the mono with me, within the fact that I really set the hook hard, that little bit of cushion and shock keeps me from snapping fish off. But no, the mono is yeah, but it's I don't know. I said it's the fact that it helps it. Well, I guess the best way to say it makes it look more natural in the water, the way when you work it and the way you work it, and that has to do with not only the mono but using like quarter ounce instead of people that use a half ounce or 3/8, using lighter. Um, but yeah, the mono itself helps because it has more resistance in the water. So when you're pulling it off the bottom and everything, and you're like 15, 20 feet down, there's going to be more resistance. So every time you pull it, instead of like braiding that, it's just slicing through the water easier, like a knife and a blade. This has resistance. So as you're pulling it, it's kind of lagging. So it causes it to kind of come up a little bit more and come down rather than if it's slicing, it's just coming straight to the water really well. So it's pulling it straight. So uh, hopefully you can understand that concept. But yeah, I said I'm gonna have I'm gonna have my some tips and tricks and stuff coming out on this, and I think 90% or I don't know 80-70% of the fishermen that are so into the fluoro and the braid and the new school technology and everything are gonna be like, you're full of shit, and that's why you don't catch many fish. You use mono and fluoro is so much better, and oh my god, braid is so much better. I know they're gonna resist it and be like bullshit, but yeah. That's why I said everything in the water is neutrally buoyant. I said I'm going to do a biology bites on that, but yeah, I mean, think about it. Almost everything that's in the water, crawdads and everything else, they don't within that environment. They don't weigh much. They're pretty much can almost just they just suspend. They don't. A 5 pound bass doesn't really weigh 5 pounds in the water because it's mostly water itself and it's in the water. It's not until we bring it out of the water and gravity hits it that it's actually weighs 5 pounds. So, and everything they're eating, every fish, everything else is not, especially when you're talking bottom sort of stuff. Like, have you ever watched crawdad when they're on the bottom? If they go and come off the bottom and then they stop, they don't go like straight down like a piece of lead to the bottom. They go and they actually float back down the bottom because they're very lightweight. They're almost weightless in the water. I mean, they can walk on the bottom in that, but they're very. Well, it's almost like being on the moon, thirds of gravity or whatever. So that's sort of the whole concept of it. Thirds of gravity, right? There's a less than that. I don't know, but maybe that could be part of my biology by tuning into it. Is it's like being on the moon, but a lot of people just don't get that concept. Well, yeah, that side of it too. There's just yeah. I mean, like I said, I never use braid, and I I never 90% of what I fish is 12 pound, 17 pound for flipping, 17 pound for top water, and like 14 pounds sometimes for heavier jigs if I'm around a lot of uh, stuff that's can put nicks and stuff in it. And it's the only reason I do it is because it's getting nicked, and I know that I need something a little bit heavier to be able to get the fish in with some nicks in it compared to 12 pound. But yeah, 12 pounds really, I mean, I always tell people 12 pounds really strong. You just got to keep it fresh when you use mono. You got to change it realistically. If you fish 4 and 5 days a week, yeah, I don't know. I just like, yeah. I said I said I have a lot more to come, and a lot of the stuff I've sort of addressed in older biology bites and older tips and tricks, but I need to start sort of rehashing them. I don't know if you fish 3 or 4 days a week and you soak it a lot. Realistically, probably every 2 weeks. I said I did the tips and tricks on when to change it. Once it starts getting that whiteness in it and that lightness, that's when it's time to change it because it will definitely probably drop a line weight. It's like if it's 10, it starts to get that white in it, it might suddenly become 10 pound strength wise. So yeah, I mean it depends. If you fish once or twice a week and you use baits that it's constantly in the water and underneath the water, like bottom baits, yeah, once a month. But if you suddenly start fishing 4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, and soaking a lot every 2 weeks, it's a total different. I mean, I can tell. I can tell when I get snagged and I have to break it off. The difference between when it's fresh and when it's been had absorbed water and stuff. Because I mean, when it's brand new, first tied it on, I get snagged with 12 pound. Half the time I can't break it. I mean, I'm like pulling and pulling, and even when I turn around and start walking away, I mean, it takes a hell. And then if it's like a week or two old, I can yank, and then I can do it, and I can just pull like that, and it'll go snap. So that's the only problem. That's why people don't like it because it absorbs water, it absorbs light. I only flick them. I Well, yeah, I pretty much only flick them, wacky rig flick them, but always with a weight, never weightless. Um, I do weightless sometimes with a Texas rig. I don't think I've ever caught a bass on a Senko Texas rig with a weight. Right to Bear has, and he did it in the video that we saved. But I've never had luck with that. And I've caught them on robo worms, Texas rig, and other type worms. But I don't think I've ever caught one Texas rig on a Senko stickworm style. I've caught them weightless Texas, but I don't think I've ever caught one with a weight in front of it. I've tried it quite a bit, but it just doesn't work. But wacky wise, always flicking, always with a jig head. Yeah, that's all. That's all I use. Yeah, I Texas rig them with a big 5-aught in them, a 5-inch with a 5-aught, but usually weightless. But 9% of the time, I'm flicking and really aggressive too. I mean, I'm popping it, popping it, popping. I know when you go weightless, you gotta wait for it to sink, and most times you just gotta kind of like barely move it, because if you actually like hit it as hard as I do, the thing's gonna move like 30 feet towards you every single time. No, I'm with me. You can see it in my video when you watch me. I mean, I throw out, I pick up to like what, like 9 o'clock. And I'm popping, 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 popping. And I keep doing that all the way up to about almost 11, 12. Then I reel it back down. And then I just aggressively pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop it all the way back up to that. And I might kind of hold it for a sec, and then I reel down, and I just keep, because it just gets it so erratic that it's just a constant movement all the way. I don't just like pop, pop, and wait a bit, and then reel in, and like pop, pop. That's the way people usually fish when it's weightless. Like just kind of move it a little bit and then let it sit, and then move a little bit and let it sit. Yeah, you gotta. It's totally different. Weightless is. I have watched pros. I've been behind the seat of pros throwing weightless wacky and everything else, and like I said, it's like they'll let it sink, and then they'll just kind of like let it sit, and then they'll just kind of like, and then let it sit. Really just painstakingly snail crawling slow, or they'll do the little teeny like a shaky head, just kind of sit there and not really move their pole, but just kind of give it. And I'm sitting there going, banging the shit out of it and just moving it and banging it, and making it just move and flutter and hit, and really aggressive with it. But yeah, that's just my technique with it. I said it's a kind of a more aggressive horizontal shaky head, because most people that see me fishing it say, "How's the shaky head bite?" Well, yeah, but see, wacky and boy, yeah, I guess you can put it. I never fish wacky on a drop shot. I use a drop shot as a swimming bait, a live swimming profile, and use the flicking as a dying profile. Because yeah, I've never had much luck on drop shot with it wacky. I always swim it, but I think it's more the fact that I combine the wacky with the drop shot. So if they want the dying profile in the wacky compared to the swimming profile, um, instead of trying to drop shot with something that's swimming and trying to drop shot real slow with something that's wacky, I don't try it much with the drop shot, because I'm covering that base with the flicking with either a smaller worm or whatever else. So, but I know a lot of people that use the drop shot, and they'll either even a trick worm or even a stick bait style, and they hook them wacky, and they sit there and just And I don't know, I've tried it a lot and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I'm better off the way I work it with it being a swimming coming to the water bait than sitting there just really slowly kind of wiggling it like on the hook. But it's just my style. I know a lot of people that catch crap out on wacky on a drop shot, but I'd rather go to the flicking instead of throwing the wacky on a drop shot. So just my preference. But yeah, they are two totally different profiles. It's one's swimming and alive and one's kind of dying. Yeah, that's what I said. It catch me a lot of fish. It's kind of the way that I work, the baits that I work, and I seem to do all right. I seem to catch fish everywhere I go. So, and it's been 40 years and some, I think more now. But yeah, I said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If I can go to all these different places and catch a lot of fish, and then have people go, "Oh, you should try this. Oh, you're missing out. You should try that. Oh, you should." I'm like, I'm an old dog. I got old tricks. I mean, a Ned was a new trick to me, and now I whack them on it. So yeah, I mean, I throw it works, especially in high pressure lakes and lakes that aren't don't have really good high quality populations of bass. I'm usually slow. I'm usually finesse. Uh, I said if I'm in a boat and I'm in a bass boat and I can cover water and hit all kinds of a lake, yeah, I fish totally different from when I'm in a boat, especially when I'm in front of the boat and running it with trolling motor. My shows would be completely different. You'd see a lot of top water stuff. You'd see a lot of crankbait stuff. You'd see probably a lot of flipping stuff like I used to do in and a lot of buzz baits and all that sort of stuff. I did a lot of my shows when I had my boat at Pinot. I did crankbait shows. Uh, I did some other like with spinner baits and other stuff, and a lot of flipping. But yeah, I'd be totally different if I had a boat. Yeah, well, I had a lot of that's I don't know, a lot of that's in my repertoire back. I mean, within my thousand, why am I at 1,020 now? 1,025 videos, something like that. Yeah, if you look back at my original ones, those five original, well, these right here. This is the DVD I made. This is one that used to be, oh, way back. But no, this is my original video. It's not my boat, but when I had my bass boat and that. But yeah, it's Junior spooking Margarita, buzzbaiting Lopez, rattle trapping Lopez, jerk baits on Lopez, and Super Spook Junior on Nascimento. Yeah, I mean, if I still had a boat and I was out on a boat and fishing, Coyote or Anderson and all that, yeah, you'd see a totally different show for me. And people want me to do that when I'm on shore. And I'm like, it's not gonna. I mean, I can't cover enough water. It's not. You can't get the right angle. You can't fish it the right way for those sort of baits unless you go to like a private golf course pond or private pond that nobody fishes. No, I hate kayaks. I can't fish sitting down. I don't. I don't. I need to stand. I grew up on a bass boat. I grew up standing up to fish on a deck. I can't even fish that way on Chris's boat because I'm sitting down. It just I can hardly fish on shore if I'm sitting down. I have to be standing. And kayaks trying to stand and I don't know, not my deal. I I need a nice, float dock. Oh yeah. No, I don't know. I'm old school, man. I originally wanted to be a bass pro in the '80s, and it was being on that bass boat and being on that raised deck and being able to have the proper. I mean, seriously, you cannot get the same. I know there's a lot of kayakers and people are way into the kayaks, but trying to properly present your bait and everything on a kayak compared to being on a freaking 21-foot Ranger, it's dude. There's and being up above the water and just having that angle and everything. It's you cannot there's no way you can do what you need to do to present things so the way you need to in that on a kayak compared to on a friggin' bass boat when you're staying in a deck. It just it's and even people that have the boat, half of them don't know how to position them, don't know how to put themselves in the right angle and everything to put themselves so they have the best cast angle, the best way to work the bait, the best way to bring it over a bank, bring it over. It's an art form in itself to run a bass boat and run the trolling motor and keep yourself in those sort of positions to put yourself at the best angle and everything. And I get frustrated with my friends that have bass boats because they don't know how to do it, and they put us in they they cripple us as far as being able to catch fish because of the way they maneuver and keep their boat positioned, and it just drives me freaking nuts because I was very good at keeping it in the angle and the position. So yeah, no, you're never gonna see me on a kayak. It's just it's not gonna happen. Yeah, and you put somebody that doesn't know how to run one on the front and tell them, and it's an art form. I mean, you have to keep you're keeping one foot on the trolling motor. You're learning how to move it. You know, heel to toe. How to keep yourself here. You keep yourself here. It's a yeah, it's an art. I mean, it's you have to be on the thing constantly to work it right. And I mean, depending on what you're fishing and everything. Now they have spot locks, so if you're out, it's kind of like an anchor. But yeah, when you're working those shorelines and going around weeds and in and out of cuts, and yeah, with me it wasn't even a 45. I was when I did my high speed cranking, and I was completely parallel, 6 feet out, and I had to keep myself completely. That was an angle, 6 feet out and completely exactly parallel to shore everywhere you went, and all the casts parallel, 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 not 45, parallel. I was casting straight out of the boat, but I was keeping myself 6 feet out, totally parallel. And when you're doing weed lines and everything else, and reeds and all that to keep yourself so you're out, so you're doing completely parallel, right in front of them. Yeah, it's an art form. It takes a lot to learn how to do that. And yeah, about 6 feet out from shore, usually 45-degree banks, rocky banks, 45 degree, or if there's a weed line, keep your boat about 6 feet out, but just so you can cast like 2 to 3 feet out, keep it running parallel right in front of that. Yeah, that's hard to do because if you're going, I go with the wind, it's a little bit easier, but try and keep it that way with the wind, and especially if you're on a lake in the summer when you get the wakeboarders and the water skiers and all the wave action to keep yourself, and you kind of have to keep like kind of readjusting, and yeah, it's hard to fish, and I mean it's like rubbing your stomach and patting your head. I mean, I can do it because I've taught myself to do patting the head, and because a lot of people start patting, or if they start rubbing, then their other one. But to pat with one hand and rub with the other, but it's kind of like I taught myself to do this, which is what is it? I go this way and then this way, which is hard to do. It's like see, this hand is going this way and the other way, so I mean, usually people start doing it and then they start going the same way with it, but it's kind of way it is when with the toilet mower. It's like your hand and your head's doing one thing and your foot's doing another. So you have to train yourself to steer with your foot and while you do your hands. Yeah, that's just. I mean, that's pretty much just for straight for high speed cranking and crankbaits is to go parallel and for high speed shallow, not necessarily for deep cranking or medium cranking or jerk baits too. It's better to keep it out and very horizontal. Yeah, chatterbaits sort of the same way, very parallel. But I said it just I don't know. It all depends on the cover, the way the cover's oriented, whether you're coming up on a point or a big rock or. But it still is like you said. It's an art form to control a boat properly, to be able to fish as efficiently as you can. Yeah, and usually in the delta, yeah. I mean, you're fishing a lot either in the trough between the hydrilla and the reeds, or just putting it in the pockets or little pockets where the reeds kind of make a point and you're bringing it out along it. But a lot of times it's in that little trough because you get the reeds and you get a little trough and then you get the hydrilla on the outside. So there's just a little trough, a 4 foot between the reeds and that. I don't know. I don't have much luck around here on chatterbaits. Pinot I did, but I just did that whole show on trying to what 5 different kinds, 9 different kinds of chatterbaits at a Uvis and that, and never got a freaking bite. To me, they're very situational. Yeah, I don't catch. I Pinot I catch them a lot, or I used to. When I'm on a boat and that, and I'm standing up and I have the ability to fish them right, but you have to cover water. You can't just sit in one spot. I mean, you throw out there and there might be one or two that want it, and you catch them the first 2 casts, and then you could go hours without another bite. I never fish them in the weeds. That's what everybody else does. I don't. I slow roll them on the bottom and bounce them off rocks and logs and stuff. I don't usually ever really fish them around weeds. I know that's where they're popular with most people, but that's not the way I fish them. I don't rip them out of weeds and that. I'm more of a slow roller with them. But I'm gonna have to end this one, guys. I don't want to happen like last week where my battery went out and it killed me, and it took like 30 minutes before your YouTube realized I wasn't live, and it just kept saying I was live with the little circle. So thanks a lot, guys. But yeah, I want to end this one so it actually posts, and it's giving me my exclamation point. All right, man. Thanks, Squid. Thanks, Right to Bear. Thanks for yeah. I knew you were still here. Yeah, thanks for that card. That will be up soon. But all right, guys, I'm out this weekend live, and new show coming tomorrow. All right, man. I'm out. Bam. Maybe. Maybe. All right. Wait.